Madrid fan base, and maybe online, there's some division. I think okay. I think right now Real Madrid has what I would call a superstar problem, in the sense that Real Madrid, since in the past 2 years, they've signed Jude Bellingham, they've signed Kylian Mbappe, and then there's Vinicius Jr. And then it almost feels to me like there's this, maybe I am the one saying it wrongly, but it almost feels to me like there's this struggle to be the Real Madrid poster boy at the club between Vinicius Jr, Kylian Mbappe, and Jude Bellingham, and especially amongst their fan bases. Why I say this is because I've seen specifically certain fan bases, people who claim to be Real Madrid supporters, having fan accounts for particular players like maybe Jude Bellingham, and not liking and pushing certain agenda against players like Kylian Mbappe or Vinicius Jr. Or same thing with Vinicius Jr. The ones that like Vinicius Jr. not liking Kylian Mbappe, not liking Jude, and I find it quite funny. And I also think that this also is influenced by the Ballon d'Or last year, when Jude and Vinny were both nominated, and the club appeared to get behind only Vinicius, and went into showed some sort of disappointment and unhappiness with Vinicius not winning, and almost felt like, okay, Vinicius was the only Real Madrid player nominated. So I think there's also some background to this, in the sense that if you look at the Real Madrid team, so Vinicius came in, Mbappe came in last year, got into Madrid last year, and currently is the highest paid player in the Madrid squad. I think at least by the documented numbers, he's currently on 600,000 euros a week. Now, Vinicius is, surprisingly to me, the third highest paid player behind David Alaba. Is on about 400. I think is him and Jude Bellingham are on the same, exactly the same amount of wages weekly. Now, this is something that I think Vinicius especially might be thinking about, in the sense that these things players will not speak about it openly. But if Vinicius feels like, oh, I'm a two-time Champions League winner, I've done a lot for this club, and Mbappe has come in and he's earning significantly more than significantly more than I earn, I feel like, okay, maybe he'll feel some type of way. But obviously I don't think he would voice it, I don't think he would say it as a professional. He wouldn't do that. But just some of those things, and especially because a lot of people also sort of felt like Mbappe coming in would upset dynamics in the dressing room. So this, for those kind of people, this is just for them, their opinion at the time manifesting now. So if you look at it, really, it's something that could potentially develop into a problem. But obviously for Madrid hopefuls, it's in their best interest that it doesn't. Madrid is still competing for all competitions currently: Copa del Rey, La Liga, Champions League. And as far as on the pitch goes, I think there's some just once in a while incidents where, like, maybe Mbappe has a chance and Vinicius is kind of open for a pass and Mbappe doesn't pass, and the same thing in reverse, Vinicius has a chance. There's just one or few of those things that happened this season, and then the other player feels like, pass the ball to me, I was in a better position. I mean, stuff like this happens in every team, yeah, but obviously because of the situation at Madrid and the way people already feel like something is going to happen in the dressing room this season because of Mbappe's arrival, so those kind of things kind of gives more attention to those kind of things, when typically in the past, or like on another team, it's not something that anybody would take really serious, because forwards can be selfish at night. It's very normal, they want to score. So, but Vinicius is in this very moment, I think, trying to bargain for a much higher offer. But also there's also people who feel like, Mbappe, for example, is earning a lot, and maybe he's upsetting, but then again, yes, Madrid will always need to pay Mbappe probably the highest amount of money. But people should also not forget that Mbappe came in on a free transfer. So which means they spent zero on transfer. So which means the money that they would most likely have spent on Mbappe's transfer, which in present day transfer window will be at least 150 million euros. That one I'm sure of. That money now, they all just, can divert it to just wages from Mbappe. So which makes sense from an economic aspect and financial aspect. If you look at how Mbappe's arrival, I think he had a slow start, but he's delivering so far. So I would say people who are focusing on the money Mbappe is earning and blah blah blah, I think they're just looking for what to talk about. From all aspects, it makes sense here. People might say Vinicius has done more for the club, but if you want to compare Mbappe, there's a reason Mbappe has a bigger star power. Mbappe has done it at the highest level, the World Cup. Again, I say people should not forget, I'm not a fan of Kylian Mbappe. I mean, he has faced Barca, the club I support, a couple of times with PSG, and he has had quite good performances in Madrid. So obviously, there's nothing in it for me to support Mbappe or be a fan of him, right? So if I'm speaking like this in a way that appears to be in his defense, I think it should mean that I've seen something that says, maybe people are just looking for something to pick on when it comes to Kylian Mbappe. So as far as that goes, I think people should find something else to talk about, because also Vinicius's contract situation can and should not be in any way related to Kylian Mbappe or what he earns. I don't like when fans of the club are bringing it from that angle. So